Ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to Festo's exhibitor pitch here at ACHEMA Pulse. My name is Dorothy Gelmar. Thanks for tuning in. In the next 15 minutes, we will give you an overview of our solutions for Zone 121 and 222, centralized versus decentralized solutions. We have single pilot NAMUR valves, valve terminals, and complete control cabinets. Yeah, as a global acting company, Festo meets international and local requirements for explosion protection. For example, the international certificate IECX. We have ATEX for Europe and UL Haslock for North America. And I now would like to introduce our experts. It's Thomas Schulz here beside me, and we have also Timo Burket, who is already at his spot to share the insights of this topic with all of you, ladies and gentlemen. Gentlemen, are you prepared for questions from our audience? I hand the question over to Thomas,
yes,
who is
of
next
course
to
we are.
me. So, ladies and gentlemen, if there is a question appearing, please use the chat function, send your question to me, and I will pass them to our experts at the end of a presentation. And now we hand over to Timo Burket. Dear Timo, it's your stage.
Thank you, Doro, and now welcome as well from my side. To control and automate pneumatic actuators in hazardous area, there are different approaches available. Because pneumatic is safe, reliable, and easy to maintain, it should be always the first choice for your hazardous applications. Let us focus first on our solenoid pilot valves. Festo had experience since years by designing and developing valves. All this experience combined in the valves are, if you're showing in our process industry valves, are VSNC, VOFC, and VOFD. The right choice of the valve is always depending on your application and on the demand which you have. Several protection ignition classes are available, and the valves are designed to operate with a coil, which had to be de-energized or energized to open and close the valve. Depending on the different countries, different certifications must be applied for local certifications. Let's get a little bit deeper into the protection ignition classes of the solenoids. Starting with the coils on the top is the series VACN. With this series, we're starting on the top. This is an XNA coil. XNA defines a non-sparking device and is limited to zone 2 and 22 and is realized with a cable connector. The next one is an XM coil, a molded encapsulated cable, which you see here, and the molding secured that the sparking is not getting into the atmosphere and prevent an explosion. The next one is an Intrinsic safe coil, and this is working with reduced power. The next one is a conduit coil, which is used or has its home market in North America. This can be used for class 1, class 2, or even class 3. The Intrinsic safe and the XM coil are possible to use for zone 1, 21, or even 2GD. The advantage for this is we have one valve series where the coils fits to. Means you can optimize your stock level by choosing the VSNC valve and have several explosion protection coils which you can assemble on the coil. The next coil is a flame-proof coil and addressing the EXD market. With his NAMUR interface, it is possible, easy to assemble on our VSNC P2 valve, which have as well a NAMUR interface according to the ISO standard. With this flame-proof coil, we have the possibility to go into the zone 1 and 21 or even 2GD. Certifications are available like IECX, CCC for China, or KCS for Korea. The same principle with the NAMUR interface is available for the Intrinsic safe coil, which can be also assembled on the VSNC. The next coil is a VACC coil from our series VACC. This coil has a terminal box, so you can easily disassemble the cover, connect the cable to the cable gland, and connect the cable to the connectors. We have an XME coil, so a molded encapsulated coil, and an intrinsic safe coil which have a booster electronic, means it will be reducing the power into a holding current to keep the valve open. The advantage for this solenoid series is that we can use it for two different types of valve series. It can be used for VSNC and it can be used for VOFC. And the VOFC are mainly designed and produced for safety applications in low demand, for example, in the chemical or pharmaceutical industry. So the last two coils are an XME coil, so a molded encapsulated coil, and a second flame-proof coil for as well EXD applications. For both series, we have here an ATEX certificate, and for the flame-proof coil, we have as well a certificate according to for NEC 500 for the UL for the North American market. And these solenoids can be assembled on the VOFD valve, which are mainly designed to address the chemicals and oil and gas market. So we have several coils available or solenoids available, and depending on your application, you have to choose the right solenoid in combination with the valve. Thomas, now I'm very interested to see what bring you us today.
Thank you, Timo. Welcome, everybody. I'm Thomas Schulz, Global Industry Segment Manager at Festo for Process Industries. And today I would like to give you an introduction on our valve terminals for hazardous areas. Have you ever faced a situation that you have to design a plant, that you have to specify components for a new plant, but the design and the engineering was not finished yet? Then the CPX MPA, the valve terminal I have here, this is the perfect choice. CPX is our multi-purpose valve terminal, and it's the most integrated valve terminal in the market, and it can be used for zone 2 and 22. The CPX MPA consists of a bus node. We have the integrated remote I/O section here, and we have the pneumatic part down here. This valve terminal has many, many options. We have a very good configurator that you can choose all the options you need. And also when you're in a project and you need to change it later on, it's easy to change configuration you have made once. I would like to point out just three topics today which might be interesting for you. First of all, if we talk about bus nodes, we supply system redundancy for Profinet and Ethernet IP. Then we have integrated pressure sensors to monitor the supply pressure of the valve terminal, which can you also integrate in your alarm system. And then we have, on the pneumatic side, we can create different pressure zones, and we can create different electrical zones. This enables you to shut down or activate zone by zone independently, however you need it for your operation. So, if you need high flexibility, CPX MPA is your choice. And if you would like to have it more easy, small, and price attractive, then the VTUG will be the valve terminal of your choice. The VTUG comes with several certificates. We have an ICA certificate for zone 121. We have ATEX for Europe. We have CCCX for China. And coming soon, it's also in Metro for Brazil and UL Haslock for the North American market. The CPX, as you can see, the VTUG is much simpler. We have the bus node here, and we have the valves here. I just would like to point out two highlights on this valve terminal. First of all, we have a so-called pneumatic hot swap, so you can exchange one slide during operation very easily. You simply flip the blue lever, you unscrew the old valve, and then you put in a new one. You put the blue lever back in position, and then you're done without any interruption of your production. Second is the pneumatic multi-pull. So you can integrate this valve terminal directly into the cabinet wall without doing any internal pneumatic connections within the valve terminal. I can show you this on the next slide we have prepared for you. There you see a difference on the installation. Left, you see the V2G directly mounted on the cabinet wall, and right, you see a CPX MPA. The benefits are you'd save a lot of space in the cabinet, and of course, it's very cost saving because you don't need to do all the cabling on inside the cabinet. And now when we talk about cabinet solutions, I would like to come to our last valve terminal, which is the CPV. The CPV is our most compact valve terminal and is very reliable. Today, more than 100,000 valve terminals are integrated or doing the operation in pharmaceutical and chemical industry since more than 20 years. The CPV also comes with a pneumatic multipull, as you can see it here. And we have an ATEX certificate for zone 121. We have UL Haslock for class 1 division 2. And we have the Detnoske Veritas German Lloyd for maritime industries. This enables you to have this also mounted in maritime applications for onshore and offshore applications. So coming back to the valve, to this cabinet here, with this very compact solution, we have integrated here compact remote I/O from Beck Solutions with an integrated Profinet node. So this two together combines to a very compact control cabinet, which gives you the ability to place this directly in zone 121. And my last point I would like to give you today is now, if we talk about protection, this single solenoid valve is designed for outer applications, placed directly in the field. If you have a valve terminal and compare this, you see it's a complete different design. This valve terminal can actuate up to 16 different process valves, here only one. Therefore, we need to protect the valve terminal always from dust, water, and the mechanical impact. And the type of protection you need, of course, depends on the IP rating of the valve terminal and on the X class you would like to install this. And of course, we supply also all the documentation needed. We have an E-plan. We have the mechanical wiring. We have wiring diagram, pneumatic scheme, and they come all electronically to you. So you don't need to do it on your own. You can easily integrate this. And with this, I would like to hand back to Doro for maybe some questions.
Maybe, sure we have. First of all, thank you very much for all the insights, explosion protection with the solutions of Festo. Thank you, Timo. Also, ladies and gentlemen, we have some questions. And the first one from Ken is, intrinsically safe coils must work in an intrinsically safe circuit, so everything must be compatible to each other. How can Festo support the customer to check the compatibility between the barrier and the coil? Long question, maybe short answer. We have 2 minutes to go.
Yes, not any coil will work with any barrier, so we had to check the compatibility. This can be done with a tool or can be done on a standard way, doing by calculation or mathematical way, and we can do it with a tool. And we have designed a software where we can click out the items which we need, and at the end we get a result and can create a PDF file which we can share with the customer, so he has easy documentation for his plant.
Sounds like an easy handling. Click, click, solution.
Correct.
Very good. Another question, also from Ken. I have a second question. What is the maximum tubing length which can be installed when using valve terminals? 1 minute to go.
So if we talk about a small valve terminal like the V2G I've shown you, it's normally 5 to 10 meters we recommend. You can do also up to 20 meters, but then the reaction time of the valve will be a little bit slower. If this is not a problem, up to 20 meters is always possible.
Perfect. If there is someone sitting in front of his screen having some more questions, can the gentlemen and ladies contact you?
Of course.
Of course. So, Thomas Schulz, Timo Burket, these are the experts you have to contact if you want more details. All for sure, find on our company profile all contact persons and experts in your language. Also have a look on our other sessions that will happen today here at ACHEMA Pulse. Thanks again for your attention and see you in the next session. Bye-bye.